So we've got here the rack gator kit. So it comes with twist ties. Seems like a nice rubber. Passenger side. Alright, and we've got zip ties. I also bought some of my own zip ties, which are a little more burly. Alright, and I actually saved from the originals, which actually seemed original. Has these clamps, and there's also this wire twist, and then there were these two little like discs, basically. I think that maybe were like little dust guards or something. Let's see if we can get these things on. This turn it on. See, this is where we make a huge mess. And you know what I want to do? I want to stretch this over. How's that going to happen? I just stretch it without tearing it and without scraping the paint. I need like Alright, well, try using a couple pieces of wood to see if we can pry this apart. Hopefully without tearing it. Seems like it's the right idea. Alright, so steering rack. This thing is basically ready to go. What we have here now are the steering boots on both sides that have been installed, as well as the new tie rod ends, which is a little hard to see at the moment, but it's got a nice new tie rod end on both sides. And everything's been cleaned up and painted, and we've also got some grease inside. I actually went with the original clamp for this. The kit came with zip ties, which I did use the zip ties on the ends. But I decided to keep this one, for whatever reason, separate. I probably should have used a clamp on this side too, just to be able to get some extra grease in, but I really got a lot of grease into this, so I'm not too worried about it. Way more than was there originally anyway, so I really packed the rack side full of grease, and there's extra grease in the boot too, so hopefully that all works out. In addition, I've got some parts that we're going to be installing. So got these two steering rack bracket pieces ready to go. So those go on top. Like that. And there's the resulting hardware too for them. And then there are two mounting brackets. Passenger side mounting. So we're actually looking at this as if we're sitting in the car. This is where the steering column comes in to control the rack. So this is the passenger side rack here. And then we've got driver's side rack ready to go, rack or bracket. So that's going to go here. Like so. And then this all gets cinched down. Now there's some packing that is supposed to go in here in order to make sure that this is nice and tight. So I need to do just a little bit of research on what that packing material needs to be. I don't know if it's very thin rubber shims or if it can be, you know, like a wax paper or something. So I'm gonna do a little bit of quick research, probably jump over to the mgexp.com forum and just see if I can understand what type of packing needs to go in here. In addition, with the hardware, there's, you know, there's bolts and lock washers and things like that. So ultimately, this will have to go all back together. We'll go out and we'll take care of that in a little bit and you know, record the whole thing. Clearance for that engine block. Alright, we're just going to do a quick test fit just to see the steering column as it comes down. It actually isn't a new steering column. It's the one I refinished earlier over the winter. Came out really nice. And again, we're not going for perfect, we're just looking to get our test fit. So that's about where we're at. There's any more for it to go. It's going to have to be all the way over here. Now I've been doing some research on what I learned is some packing that actually has to go in between these before these brackets can go on. And a lot of people use old bicycle inner tube material, which I happen to have. And so this actually is supposed to wrap around and then the brackets go on. So it kind of helps with grip. It keeps the steering column from wobbling and flipping around. So I guess if you don't have it, the steering rack can go sort of side to side and even, you know, vibrate and wobble a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put these in, and then we'll cut them to fit because they overlap a little bit on the diameter of the steering column. And that little tiny rubber, you know, packing should actually just help a tiny bit with vibration as well. So let's see how it goes. Alright, so to keep the rubber stuck to the steering rack, I'm just going to use a little bit of this Elmer's glue. And, you know, it's not permanent, it's just enough hopefully to keep it, make it stick while we install the top bracket. So the trick with these brackets is to get them to cinch down evenly. You don't want to cinch down the bottom and have a gap towards the top. So you know, really look at them closely while you're cinching them up. And likewise, we don't want to cinch this side up entirely without cinching this side up. Otherwise, the rack will lift. Good. It looks like actually I can take a little material out of the packing. So when we come back and we do our full steering column alignment, we'll take care of that. And then obviously we've got our brackets too. We've got the brackets loose for now, so we'll kind of get everything situated nicely, and then we'll cinch the whole steering system down and go from there.